Hey, and welcome to another At Home Exclusive with 1049 The X. Today, our guest, Ben Bruce from Asking Alexandria. What's up, Ben?
Oh, same old, same old. This tour has been absolutely incredible. Oh no, wait.
Yeah, not exactly touring time right now, is it?
No, unfortunately not. I was talking to my wife the other day about it, and we've figured out I've not been on tour for like 8 or 9 months.
And that's strange for you, huh? How long has it been since you've gone this long without touring?
10 years,
Wow.
very
Wow.
long time.
You live your life on the road then.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, we used to be on the road like 330 days a year, and then as we've got older, it's got less and less, but it's still always like 200 plus days a year, always. So this has been weird, but at first it was like a bit of an adjustment actually being at home. But I've got
Yeah.
3 kids, and so I've really been enjoying it. My kids are so stoked. Whenever I used to leave for tour, they'd be so upset, they'd be heartbroken, and so now it's like, oh well, I'm home, and that's really happy about that. So
Yeah, you know what? You're not the first artist that I've talked to who has said that it's been kind of a blessing in disguise because they get to spend time with their family and time at home.
it really has, and I think in this day and age, touring really is where the bulk of your income comes from being a musician,
Sure.
because record sales are just non-existent. But to me, and I'm sure a lot of people, you can't put a price on family time, and the fact that going away on tour all the time to make a living is what we do. The fact that that's gone now has made me realize even more how valuable time at home actually is, and it's actually made me realize how quickly they grow up. Everyone says
Yeah.
it, and you're like, yeah, I guess they grow up the same as I do, but they do, and I think being home, I've noticed that more. So I'm having a really nice time being stuck at home.
That's great. Has it helped you creatively at all to have a little more spare time?
Well, kind of. I'm always super creative anyway. Like I can't seem to ever stop songwriting. But when we release a new album, at least I get to go out and tour it for like 2 years. So it kind of slows me down. Now that we
Yeah.
don't have that, we've just released our new album, and I'm ready to release a new one. I'm like, I've written like 20 songs. Let's get in the studio and release another album. And everyone's like, what are you talking about? We just released one. I was like, yeah, but we're not touring.
Yes, I
So
mean, what else can you do? You know what I mean? You might as well get in and start putting another one in the can.
let me release some more music.
There have been artists that have been releasing, just a song at a time, just to, hey, we've got one, why not put one out? Even if we don't have an album.
Yeah, and I'm not opposed to that either. I'm in two minds about it. I think that is the modern day model. I think it makes more sense to just release singles constantly.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, growing up when I did, I've got a soft spot for records. I love getting a full album. I love getting a full body of work. And I think sometimes a song might be the best song in the world, but on its own, it doesn't stand on its own 2 feet because it doesn't tell the complete story. But when you slot it into a record and you go on the journey, it's like, oh, I get it more. I think you form a deeper connection with the music. So I think I'm going to be one of those artists that's super stubborn, and labels will be like, hey, man, just let's do a single. I'll be like, hey, man, let's release an album.
Yeah. So I was reading up a little bit about Like a House on Fire, the latest album from Asking Alexandria. And as you finish the album, you show it to Corey Taylor. And I read on BME, actually, or I'm sorry, NME, that he had a pretty specific critique. You mind telling us what that was?
Critique of the record or critique of the industry?
Let's just say this. Corey Taylor told you that this album was going to piss people off. Why did he say that?
He said it was going to piss people off because I think because I've known Corey for a really long time. He's always super honest, and I think whatever I'm going through, whatever Asking's done or is doing, he's done it. He's been there and he's done that, and so he knows. And he was like, speaking from experience. He was like, when we went from Iowa to Subliminal Verses, everyone was like, what the hell are you doing? And it pissed people off. But it was a huge step in their career to take them on to even bigger and better things. And I think what he was saying was there's going to be a lot of really pissed off people with this album. Because people aren't going to understand it when you first put it out there. But he said, stick with it. You got to piss people off. If you're not pissing people off, you're not evoking any emotion from people. So if no one's pissed off with your new album, you didn't do it right. Essentially, and he was super supportive and super awesome. And I always find it really weird because growing up, Slipknot was like my favorite band. I remember I got in so much trouble when I was like a troubled, angry teenager. I graffitied my mum's car with Slipknot lyrics. So I got in so much trouble. Now, like, I get to talk to this guy all the time. You know, I would consider him a good friend. And so it's so surreal to me. And that's something I value a lot, because if he wasn't so close and I reached out to him as Ben from Asking Alexandria, what do you think of my new album? He'd probably be like, yeah, it's great. Fucking sweet. You know, the fact that we're so close, he doesn't feel like he has to hold back or refrain. He was like, just be prepared for the shit show, you know. And you look back over time, and I mean, the biggest metal band of all time, Metallica, when they put out their self-titled or the Black Album, people went in the streets and burnt their Metallica shirts and burnt their Metallica records. Like, oh, this sucks. But it took metal to a whole new level, and it brought metal into people's homes. And it's like, how is that a bad thing? It's very weird that people kind of want to keep rock and metal as this niche. So it's like, this is mine. It's that same mentality. It's like, well, I liked that band before everyone else did, so now I don't like them anymore. It's like, we need this thing to grow. Don't you want to go to a festival and there's 100,000 people there? Like, don't you want this thing to be the biggest? Once upon a time, rock and metal was the biggest genre in the world. Do we not want that again?
We do.
I do.
Yeah, I know. We sure as hell do. You know, we would love to be number one on the dial again. You know what I mean? It's a weird world we're living in where rock is not on top, but I kind of feel it coming back a little bit. Do you feel the same way?
It will be. It definitely will be again. Yeah, but you've got to piss some people off to get there.
Right. Yeah. And you're doing that with Like a House on Fire. We've been playing Anti-Socialist, playing it a lot, and people are really liking it. I think people are responding to it. How does that song, you think, stack up against the rest of the album?
It's hard. It's so hard for me because I'm the primary songwriter. So every time I write a song, I'm like, this is the best one, and then I'll write the next one. I'm like, this is the best one. So it's really hard for me to be subjective about it. But what I can say about that song is, I think a lot of times myself and a lot of artists put a lot of thought into a song and into the structure and the meaning and the message, and how can you be clever so that it can be interpreted in lots of different ways for different people. And I think that's part of the fun of songwriting. But also, just as importantly, I think sometimes a song should just be a song, you know. And when I was growing up, there was, you know, Limp Bizkit's Break Stuff. It was like, I'm pissed off, today sucks. That's all this song's about. Or Slipknot, you know, people equal shit. It's like, there's no further meaning. And I was like, man, I want a song where everyone can just be like, I feel exactly that. There's no hidden message. There's no, oh, I think that's about this, or you either relate to this or you don't. And I think everyone can relate to Anti-Socialist. I think everyone, for most of the hours in the day, would love to tell everyone to just peace out and get out of their face, you know, whether it's a teacher or your job or the guy sat in front of you at the green light that's not going, like, what are you doing, asshole? Like, and that's literally all there was to it. So it was kind of more difficult to be that brazen and that just open with a song, because you're used to trying to work all these levels in. It was kind of like taking a step back and just simplifying it all was a little bit more challenging, actually.
Yeah, there's an old adage that says honesty is the best policy, and sometimes the best way to be honest is to just say the exact words that you mean to say. Yeah,
exactly. You know, and so many people, again, were like, well, who's the song about? You're saying I don't fucking like you. Who's the song about? I'm like, everyone. Like, who do you not like right now? And they're like, oh, this person, this. Exactly. That's who the song is about, you know?
And of course, you can't really ignore the coincidence that the song came out during a time when a lot of people are like, stay away from me.
Stay away from me. Exactly. Well, we actually planned that. So.
Oh, yeah, you did it. Yeah, Asking Alexandria.
Well, what happened is we went back to England, who's actually 8 hours ahead of where we are here on the west coast of America, where I live. And I was like, okay, what happens in the future, Mom? And she told me.
So then you got to release this song right now. Yeah.
Right this second.
Do you ever laugh at the way Americans pronounce your band name, by the way? Because I've heard you say it in a couple of videos, more of an Asking Alexandria. And here we are going Asking Alexandria, you know.
I've lived in America so long now, like, not even just my band name, like going through a drive-through, right? If I want a bottle of water, I'm like, can I get a water, please? And they're like, what? Like, can I get a water, please? And I'm like, what's he say? And literally people will come over and they'll be like, hello, sir, can we help you? I'm like, can I get a bottle of water? And my wife's like, come on. Can I get some Dasani water, please? And they're like, oh, okay, sir. Yes. And I'm like, my God, like, it's so hard. Even I've been here for so long. And I'm like, I didn't know the English accent was that difficult to understand.
Yeah, and I suppose it depends on what region you're from and all that, because some might overpronunciate the T.
Yeah,
water,
yeah.
water.
And I that's my mom. My mom's like, water. And I'm like, oh,
yeah.
And I'm like, water. And she always picks me up on it too. She's like, there's a T in water. Like,
yeah,
sorry,
I think I've seen a video of Jerry Seinfeld making fun of Ricky Gervais for the same thing, not hitting the T. You know, it's pretty funny. So you've done some acting yourself, right? I've seen a couple of IMDb credits. And is that something you want to do more of?
Yeah, it was never anything that was on my horizon or in my future that I'd ever considered. And I got presented the opportunity to be in a movie called American Satan a few years ago. And I was like, I don't know about this. I'm not an actor, I'm a musician. You know, it's taken me 10 years to get comfortable with staring at the crowd in the face and not hiding behind my guitar. And so it was super daunting, but I found, you know, I did it. I wanted to do something different, push myself. And I found when I did it, I got that same adrenaline rush and that same excitement that I get right before I walk on stage. And I was like, that's insane, because in my whole life, I thought I'll never find that anywhere else. Like this is a one-time thing. You walk on that stage and it's like, whoa. And so, you know, like people that go bungee jumping and skydiving, they get that weird adrenaline rush. Like I get that when I go on stage. And when I got to act, I got that same rush and that same feeling, which was excitement, but also I'm going to puke everywhere. And I enjoyed it, you know, and then the movie did well and it got picked up for a TV show. So we filmed season 1 of Paradise City, which isn't out yet. It comes out this year sometime. I can't remember when. So I've been doing more and I got picked up by an agent and I've been doing auditions. So it's definitely different. And it's by no means taking away from my love of music. That will always forever be my number one. But at the same time, it's another nice artistic avenue that I get to go down and explore.
So you find that you play a character on stage with the band ever? I mean, I realize you're yourself in the band, but do you go out and you feel this other personality kind of take over once the lights come on and the crowd's there?
Oh, 100%. 100%. I am literally the soppiest guy you'll ever meet in real life. Like I'm watching How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days and crying harder than my wife is. And like I put my kids to bed every night and I go downstairs and I'm moping and my wife's like, what's wrong with you? I'm like, I miss the kids. And she's like, just put them in bed. So, you know, you can't really do that on stage. So when I do go on stage, I'm probably a bit more arrogant and lively and cocky. And I like to put on a show. Like I like to be more, I don't know, less of a baby. You know, like I'll wear pants or trousers that are like bright and crazy, and I'll fucking flip someone off like, yeah, but I would never do that. And you're like, how did you get out of your bedroom?
Speaking of which, look who it is.
Escaped. You're right. How did you get out of your bed? He's escaped. He's got a baby gate on his room. How did you get out? Where's your sister? Downstairs. Do you want to say hi?
Hello.
So yeah, I am definitely different on stage than I am at home.
I don't think anyone would blame you for that. Oh, no. Wow. Someone's really fascinated. Hello. Welcome to the world of radio, social media.
Right, kid. This is the future, social media.
This is glamour right here. That's what this is.
What are you doing? Okay, you gotta be quiet though, okay?
Some people like to be private with their kids. Do you mind if we ask his name?
Yeah, his name is Finn.
Finn, hey Finn.
Say hi. You can't be rude. All right, can you go find mommy? Yeah? Why? No. Okay, we'll go hang out.
Daddy's cool.
Okay? Can you hang out there with Jack? Yeah? And I'll play with you when I'm done? No. Yes. I love you. Yeah, we're actually pretty private with our kids now. We didn't used to be. I used to share them on social media a lot, but yeah, people are weird.
Hey, they are. Hey, you're not lying about that.
People like steal their pictures and stuff and pretend that they're their kids. And I'm like, man, this is This is no good.
Okay, well, you seem to have your hands full. We're not going to keep you for too much longer, but I do want to go to a listener question that was going to be a form of the question I was going to ask next anyway. What is the next tour going to be after the quarantine? So when can we see Asking Alexandria again?
Oh, man. I wish I had an answer. We've been one of those bands that are super hopeful. So, like, we keep postponing our tour and rebooking it, thinking this will be over soon, or hoping this will be over soon. And then it seems to be never ending. So it just keeps getting pushed and pushed and pushed. So I'm in my head, I'm really genuinely, I'm thinking it's not going to be until like summer or fall of 2021. Realistically, I just don't think. I think music venues are going to be, or big music venues are going to be the last places that open.
Yeah, that's a sad truth, I think, but we're definitely looking forward to it. We want everyone to check out Like a House on Fire, the latest album from Asking Alexandria. We've been chatting another at home exclusive with Ben Bruce from Asking Alexandria. Thanks so much for joining us, and Finn, thank you. Nice to meet you.
Thank you so much. Say bye.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Thank you, mate.
Thank you.